All right, so this one's a little challenging. I'm going to make a statement. We must deliver more in use value than we do in cash value. Now that matters whether you're in business for yourself, so that'd be to your clients, or heck, even if it's an employer-employee relationship. Um, Now, intrinsically, that sounds like a duh statement, and it sounds like okay. I mean, you're not saying anything overly new there, and it isn't. It isn't a new statement. It's kind of makes sense, right? Like people will pay you because they feel like they're getting more value than what they're paying. Okay, um, and the more value they feel like they're getting is the faster, easier it is for them to pay you and for them to justify paying you. That just makes common logical sense, right? Here's the part that doesn't make common logical sense, and here's the part that um, is challenging, and that is how often. And be honest with yourself for a moment, because I had to be really, really painfully honest with myself. How often do you deliver use value and you're not sure if what you delivered was greater than the cash value that they paid? How often do you do something for your clients and you know you charged one thing and you wonder, did I overcharge them, or was it actually worth that, or did they get the value out of it that they should have, right? And sometimes that's left to perception as well. I have a client that we just lost, and they said that they didn't feel like they got the use value based on the cash value that they gave us, right? And after listening to them, I agreed with their assessment of how they got there. I didn't agree with what they said, but I agreed with their assessment of how they got there, and it was because I was too afraid to actually guarantee and promise the use value that they received. So we delivered the use value that we told them that we would. And they admit that. They admit that the use value that we got is what you said. And the use value that we got was really, really great. It was top notch. However, it wasn't greater than the cash value that we gave you. And it's because in this moment, in the moment of use value, you know, when we hear about offer strategy and we think about creating an offer, people talk about guarantees, and that your product and your service must have a guarantee, right? That people need a guarantee, and that rubs people in a lot of different ways. And a big part of why it rubs people in a lot of different ways is because how do I guarantee and your use value, right? And often that stems from my fear of, and your fear of actually saying that we will deliver this use value. So let me break that down and make it really plain for you. Um, our company is Client Attraction Pros, and we've always talked about the fact that we do everything to bring the client to your door, right? Now we are also in the world of organic marketing. And organic marketing traditionally and historically has had a problem with attribution, and of how do I prove that this action led to that lead, right? That's attribution. That's historically been a problem with organic marketing. Now, here's the truth. It's been historically a problem because we haven't wanted to guarantee it. It's not that we couldn't do it, but we didn't want to guarantee that we could do it because it's easier for us to guarantee other things that we seemingly have more control over. Okay? And so, real talk, it was fear in me that never actually guaranteed that. And every single client asked for that guarantee and had become adept over 20 plus years at redirecting that guarantee into something else that we were going to guarantee, which, yes, it pointed to use value for sure, but not in the client's mind, use value greater than the amount that they were going to pay us. It left them in a place where they still had to infer greater use value out of what we said that they were getting. Okay? And so I'm sharing this with you today because I realize that that's a lot of our problem. I realize that a lot of us are afraid to guarantee to our customer that thing that the customer absolutely wants. And a big part of the reason why we're afraid to guarantee to our customer that thing that they really want is because we're going to say there's too many variables. We're going to say that there's no way to actually measure it. We're going to say, well, what if it doesn't? And then they're upset with me and they want their money back and I didn't deliver and they want their money back. And let me just say this, all of those things are us living out of fear. They are. There isn't love in any one of those. They're all of us living in fear of what if. Instead of taking the time to figure out, okay, how do we all win here? What is win here for everyone? Because if everyone wins, if everyone gets great use value, everything works correctly. Now that requires us to see the world in different steads. So like for us, for example, with organic marketing and social media and heck, even YouTube, it's given us a different opportunity than we ever had when we did organic marketing on a website. Okay. Or when we did organic marketing and we were producing blog posts that were posted on other people's sites or press releases or anything like that we used to do. Here on social media now, we actually have a different opportunity to be able to say, hey, we actually can go figure out who your ideal customers are and put real names to them and actually go start having conversations and drive those specific people as leads to you, thereby showing you the use value that we bring to you, the actual attribution, which is what people have been asking for. And so for me, what I realized is over the last really 5, 6, 7 years or so, I've been living in an old paradigm of I can't prove attribution to you, but in truth, we can. We can. We absolutely can. But I never updated my paradigm and I was still living in fear of that old paradigm. So, I don't know what this is for you. But it does require you to take a look at everything that you're doing and say, am I in a situation where people leave and people don't stay with me because I am providing less use value in their mind, and that's what's important, in their mind, than cash value that they're giving me? And if so, if that's a true statement for you in any sense of the truth, it's time for you to really take some time and reevaluate what is it that you're afraid of. And maybe it's time to relook at that and look at it in a different lens. Look at it with a different lens, through a different lens. Because ultimately, there has to be a true win-win. Everyone must win. Everyone must win. The moment one person loses, we all lose. Everyone must win. So, um, yeah, would love your thoughts. Love to hear some of the things you're working through. Love to know where you are with any of this. Thanks.